the Deep End Podcast, brought to you by Deeps Media and Quilted Northern's 3-ply toilet paper.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that was good.
That's not bad at
like
all. All right, man.
3-ply. That's like the Cadillac of toilet papers.
Yeah, I think it's what you've come to expect. Like 2-ply is a minimum, right? No, I don't know if anyone's using Scott's anymore. Remember Scott's is the 1-ply?
Oh yeah, that's brutal. That's what my parents used.
Really? When you were growing up, or
Yeah.
still to this day?
Well, now they get provided by their community. So, but yeah, that's what they used, like the sandpaper.
I can't do it, man. I can't. I gotta go. If I don't see the little quilted northern like little marks, then
Forget it.
yeah. And now we've moved to a whole bidet system, and
I use Charmin double. I'm good.
dude,
Shout out Charmin.
you gotta try the bidet. No,
Really?
bidet. It's life changing. It is. I want to do a product review on it. It is life changing. It is the number one thing. Looking at the past decade, that has changed my life in such a positive way.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it is an experience every time you use it.
I love it.
And the use of TP has gone down for your bunghole, so TP for
That's
my bunghole.
amazing.
Yeah, so it's been good, man. So it's been good.
Not
So
good for our sponsor, but good.
yeah, if I got sponsored by them, that'd be phenomenal. I mean, I already have enough, but you can never have, enough backup bidets in case something happens. Like most people are prepping with cans of food and ammo, and I'm stocking up on bidets.
Yeah, you need it.
You just never know, right? What if toilet paper started going out of stock?
So you have a full bidet now.
No, it's a aftermarket one. So it's an add-on to the existing toilet. Yeah, and
I'm always afraid those are gonna leak. Like
no, the actually the clamps and everything, the wiring or hoses that come with it are better than OEM, better than stock.
Oh
Yeah, but it just goes from what we've been talking about, like customizing cars. Now I'm customizing toilets. I'm gonna lower my toilet.
I love it.
I love it.
Get the new,
So
get the new chrome rims on it.
we got the chrome toilet seat.
Spinners.
So we got through Thanksgiving. We'll talk a little bit about what happened on Black Friday. But I'm curious, like going through Thanksgiving, I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this, but like, what are your traditions? And we're both Asian, so I guess is there some sort of Asian tradition that you have? Like a wrap gift. Okay, I got it.
So yeah, no, we don't. I wish that like we had some cool tradition like that, but we
So
kind
you
of
guys-
like my parents assimilated to him. Like we did it to fit in, just so like I was probably hard for my parents. Obviously coming from like Taiwan and China, like turkey. What is this? Like pilgrims? What? But they did it. Like we did. We usually do like a mix of Chinese food and American food. So
Okay.
we'll do like turkey with like Chinese sticky rice as stuffing instead of the bread stuffing, and then maybe we'll do Chinese taro instead of sweet potatoes, stuff like that. But like we'll do some variation of it, and there'll be some Chinese dishes mixed in. But it's general. Like if a white person came over, which often we'll invite somebody over, and they don't feel any. They're just like, oh, there's a couple of different flavors to it, but it still feels like Thanksgiving. You get turkey and gravy and mac and cheese and all that, all the southern things from Virginia that I like to do, and then
Not
we
bad.
just add some Asian flavor to it, and then we go. This year we didn't do it because everyone was sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a disaster. We all caught the whatever flu cough thing is going around. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we didn't go. We originally were gonna plan a bunch of stuff, but we're like, we can't go see anyone. My dad was actually really sick. So yeah, we did nothing for Thanksgiving this year. How about you? Is there an Indian?
So, do you guys
thing?
put up a tree?
We did do a tree. Yeah.
Yeah, and all like the normal ornaments. Nothing like ninja stars or anything?
No, I mean
No.
a little bit. We try.
We we do ours kicks off with something like this. This is kind of what I feel like.
Scrunchies, hair clips, bracelets, shorty, short.
Doesn't it just make you want to get down?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so oh my god.
I mean, nothing makes you feel less white and American for me than Christmas, because it's like Santa's white, and like everything about it, like all the Christmas carols and jingles and all of it. It just was very white focused. So like I don't. Part of me is like I don't know. Don't want to go too crazy, but the kids love it, so we do it.
Yeah, our thing like growing up was when you talk about like, do you do anything Asian? Do you do anything based on your religion or anything? Our motto was like, anytime you're going to receive gifts, we need to celebrate it. Like, if there's an opportunity to get a gift, we should celebrate it. And then we figure out what it's called and what the reasoning was behind it. So for Christmas, I mean, we do all the normal things. I mean, I'll put up like some footage of our house. It looks like Nordstrom. My wife does an amazing job of decorating our home in themes. So Christmas is normal. There's not like anything I would say that's very Indian. Even the meal, like, you know, well, we don't, there's no like,
there's no naan.
Yeah, there's no, and you're going to say naan or curry. There's no curry or naan.
Why? Why not add that to it? Like turkey, instead of gravy, use curry? Come on. Get some creative.
We could, but it just, I think it's more of like the opportunity to actually celebrate a traditional
somebody else's culture.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like driving someone else's car, right? Like I don't get in someone else's car and go, man, I'm gonna lower this real quick or tint the windows. I'm just gonna drive it the way you have it, and right. So with the holiday, it's like, okay, I'm gonna do what is this the Pilgrims? No, Christmas was, what was Christmas? The one where they came on the Mayflower?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Mayflower, right? That sounds right. And I don't even understand like what it is behind it. I should have probably looked it up. But what is the meaning of like Santa coming down through the chimney? I mean, that sounds like a Ring alarm disaster. You know what I mean?
It is.
What does he do?
I mean, we don't even. I don't.
Our house. He's got his little watchers, the elf on the shelves, those little spies. They're out and about, like looking around, you know, getting into mischief with toilet paper and stuff.
So you guys do the full thing. You guys go all out. Christmas, 150%. Holiday. If somebody in zero Indian vibe to it. You don't do a snake in a box that you charm out. Nothing.
I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. Like there's going to be curry stains. There's, you know,
it's disappointing. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, but if you look at it, Santa kind of looks like a, you know, I'm sick, so he's like a sick warrior type of guy. I mean, you know, that's what I like to think, that he's just an old Punjabi guy. And
we were at the mall. We were at the mall on Black Friday, of course, like like a typical family goes.
Yeah.
And they had the Santa set up, and it was empty. The Santa wasn't there.
Where was he?
I was trying to tell my son, I was like, why don't you go in there? You can pretend to be Santa. They were like, what do you mean? I'm like, you just be Santa. People will take pictures with you. He's like, no, I'm not Santa. I don't look anything like Santa. I'm like, the gifts are made in China. Now Santa's made in China. He wasn't buying it, which, you know.
I mean, you're doing the right thing, right? You got to teach your kids that they can grow up to be anybody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Santa is a weird one, a really weird one.
I don't understand who he is. I'm going to be honest with you. I love the fact that he's bringing presents. I love the fact that he's huge. That definitely brings that into popularity for me. He's slamming cookies and milk before he goes to bed. He's got all the right things. Genetically, he looks fantastic. But I don't understand why he's breaking into my house and dropping presents off.
Yeah, it is very bizarre.
I don't know how that came about, you know.
I mean, honestly, you think the end of the year, it's all bizarre. You've got this
It is.
one where you dress up and you go to people's house, strangers' houses, and get candy.
Like
Then you
yeah, but
go,
you got to dress up like the devil or something crazy,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
and yeah, then you go Thanksgiving pilgrims and Indians, and now you're eating this crazy meal out of nowhere, and then Santa comes. It's a lot of explaining for us
Then
parents.
it's a lot of talking. And
It's a
I feel like
lot.
I'm more
It's a lot, bro.
dehydrated between October and December.
Yeah, it's a little exhausting. I'm not gonna lie.
And then you get a 2-day break, and then it's New Year's, which is celebrated by alcohol and gunshots and fireworks and pure insanity. And you're forcing your kids to stay up late. They're like, oh,
I mean,
uh,
for me, it's a countdown to nothing. I just
well,
don't
yeah.
get it either. Like
Well, your New Year is when? When's your?
Chinese New Year, ours is in February.
Yeah. So what are you doing December 31st? You're counting down and being like,
We
no,
don't even we participate. We'll do because it's the East Coast one is more important. It's around our kids' bedtime,
yeah.
so we'll do that. But then we have it on DVR, so it's 5 seconds behind.
Gotcha.
So we go Happy New Year at 5. So we're like,
Wow. So you're doing time
yeah.
zone
So
based
we go
Happy New Year.
9, 8, 7, and then at 5 we're like Happy New Year. We just try to keep it real.
I love how after the first
more
year when
about
you figure that
authenticity.
out, you just every year from there on you still do it.
Yeah,
9,
we
8,
have to.
7. Happy New Year. What is this
You got
year
to.
for Chinese New Year? It's a year of the what?
It is. I don't know.
It's embarrassing. Like if you ask
I
me
have no
what
idea.
the most popular dish is, I'm telling you chicken tikka or butter chicken. I can
Yeah,
answer
but
that
you'd
question.
What year it is? I have no idea, bro. This year is probably rat. I think. I have no idea.
Rat?
Yeah, I think it's rat.
They have rat. Oh, interesting. You guys really
The
went
year
all
of the
out with
rat.
animals, huh? So
It's one of those things where you find out right about around when it happens. That's how.
that's
how I
true.
learn.
Or you text your mom, right? Like, what is this?
Yeah,
year?
not. I mean, you could easily just Google it, but yeah.
Texting your mom is better, right? That it confirms for your parents that we're still
You care.
idiots. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the day after Thanksgiving, it's the busiest day for plumbers. I was going to say bummers. That's awesome. And why do you think they call it Brown Friday?
Why?
Yeah, why do you think?
I don't know. Because we got to fix the toilets.
It's not for the reasons
Maybe.
you would expect.
No, actually, it's probably because of all the grease and stuff you pour
100%. Yep.
pour down.
You got it exactly right.
Instead of taking a dump, it's actually the
Yep.
greasy.
That's
stuff.
what I thought. I mean, look, it's a busy day for the plumber. They're calling it Brown Friday. It's clickbait, right?
It's good deals though. Good deals on Brown Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there is. So, what did you you did some shopping?
I did.
And
I didn't go crazy,
yeah.
but I bought a bunch of stuff like stuff I don't need. It's
You told me you got this thing. I want to know
yeah,
what
I'm a
this is.
materialistic person, and I like
What is
getting
this?
stuff. So this is
I need
this
to know.
is
Like, what is this? I'm very
speaking up on
confused.
the Asian thing.
Oh God.
So when I was a kid, my
jeez.
dad used to do this thing where they would heat up cups and then they would put it on their backs when they're sick.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a cupping thing.
Okay.
It's like a massage, right? You put it on your back. It like puts pressure in the right areas. I don't really know how it works,
Okay.
but it always was like a crazy like voodoo type of thing. And then they created this. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna try it. And it works. Like
You tried
you
it?
hit it. Yeah, you hit it,
Yeah.
and then it does the little suction. Like it does this. Look, even if I put it on my hand, it'll like suck onto my
wow.
hand,
So
and then you can turn up the heat. It actually works in terms of like what it does. Whether or not it actually works, it's like acupuncture. I think it's all in your head.
yeah.
But like it's cool.
So
This thing does its trick. I'm gonna try it for a little while and see what it does. I'll give you feedback, but
you can actually feel it. You feel like it's making a difference. your day to
Yeah,
day.
like it definitely like tenses up all your muscles and
Dude,
gets you.
and what is
Yeah,
this? Like you're left branded with their, is that their logo?
yeah, pretty much.
How long does
You
that
see it
last?
now on a lot of athletes when they're hurt. Like
Yeah.
you'll see it on their arms, and if you watch the NBA, a lot of them have cupping marks now because it's supposedly like suctions blood, draws blood to the area, and you get better healing, and
And did you say you heat it up?
it heats automatically.
This is phenomenal, dude. It's only, it was on sale. Look, they crossed out the 59.
Yeah.
53.
Massive Black Friday sale of $6 off.
How many did you get? Look at this. This comes in a kit of buy
I bought
four.
I bought two.
Okay. All right. So you're doing two at a time.
Yeah. No, I gave one to my parents, and then
What did your dad say? Did your dad just look at it and go, "You're so silly"?
well, they're so
This-
old at this
this
point.
I could have done it with this.
I'm a little worried because they're so. I mean, obviously they haven't used it yet,
Yeah.
but like they got a lot of loose skin when you're old. It might,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
want to suction like an artery closed or something.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm gonna.
Just use it with caution. Make sure.
Jury's
your mom-
still out on that one.
I
We'll
feel like
see.
if
But
your
it
mom-
does what it does. I give it a good 3 out of 5 stars. I don't
Okay. All right. And what did they give on the site? 4.83 out of 5. But that's their site. Even them, they don't believe it's
three
a 5.
3 out of 5. It is like it is what it is, right? Like
Yeah.
it works and does. I mean, I would say 5 out of 5 is like it's above and beyond anything I ever imagined.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. This thing does what it says it does. Like it's 3 out of 5, man. It's good.
That's not bad.
I
What
like
is
it.
that? 65% or something? 70?
Yeah, it's passing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I mean, it's hard for this kind of product to get 5 out of 5. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what it would need to do.
At that price point, it's hard. It's good. I mean, it would have to like get the pain out as well as make you a ham sandwich.
Yeah, you have to like have some kind of AI technology built in
I
where
agree.
it figures out where to go in your body. Then it's 5 out of
Yeah.
5 out of 5, right? If you just turn it on and it goes to like your tight muscles, that'd be amazing.
That's what it needs. It needs
Impossible.
AI. Did you get anything else?
I did test out the Google Pixel.
Okay.
It is amazing.
Really?
And I'm an iPhone person.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna try it. I just use it in Wi-Fi. I mostly use it for like work related things and testing.
Okay.
But like the stuff it can do, like I imported all my photos in there, and like you can edit them so easily. It like uses AI to like remove background things, and it like gives you suggestions for the best. I'm not great at like picking the hue and the contrast and all of that.
Right.
It'll give you a bunch of really like AI suggested things, and it'll like say, hey, remove this guy in the background, and you just hit remove, and it removes it,
way.
and then it'll like if you take burst photos, like 10 photos in a row,
Yeah.
it'll combine all of them together and give you options. So if you click on your face, it'll give you all 10 of your bursts, and you can pick the one you like.
I like that.
And it doesn't look real crazy. It actually takes it and blends it in. You can't even tell. That part, amazing. The other one feature that I thought was cool was it does Google Assistant
What's that?
on your calls. So if somebody calls me right now on the Google phone,
Yeah.
you can say Google Assistant, answer it, and it'll actually answer it, and it'll say, hey, this is Deep's assistant. How can I help you? And the person will be like, hey, this is so and so, and it'll transcribe it, and it'll show you in a push notification
Get out of
that-
here.
that person is going to be like, this is the plumber's Brown Friday, and then you can say, all right, I want to answer it, and you answer it, or you can say, hey, tell him I'm busy, take a message, and it'll be like, hey,
Wow.
Deep is in the middle of a podcast. Can he
Yeah.
call you
Wait, my
back?
toilet's blocked. Definitely get him in.
Yeah.
Here. Get him in here.
And it'll do that. So if you get like an unknown call, you can literally just answer it now. Have Google Assistant answer it, and it'll transcribe it for you, and you can like respond live. You don't
Dude,
actually have
that
to
is-
talk to them.
It's like having a Keebler elf in your pocket.
It's amazing.
I know.
Like that'll
Sounds weird.
if Apple didn't lock me into like iMessage and FaceTime, I would
Yeah.
switch. I would switch over.
That's the thing, right? Then you go to switch to Android, then your whole world goes upside down.
Yeah, yeah. I've got parents. I've got kids that
Yeah.
aren't getting. I'm not. I'm not gonna switch everybody over.
Yeah.
So like I'm pretty much stuck in with this mode of using it as a secondary phone, which is fine. But like now I'm like, all right, YouTube and all the things, I'm using it on this phone.
That's crazy.
I'm not using it. Yeah,
And
it's,
the camera, right? The megapixels is much better than the iPhone. Isn't
yeah.
it?
I mean that I didn't really test it out like because I just took my photo history and
Okay.
uploaded it to Google Photos, and then it all shows up on here.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone's like, they're like trying to get you to come onto their system. Google wants their system. Amazon came out with a phone, and I don't even know what they're like. You can burp and all of a sudden order something on Amazon. Like they're,
Yeah.
Meta has their glasses that I don't know what's going on.
I'm
these
gonna
days.
try the I'm gonna try the Ray Bans. Maybe that's the next one we'll do for the show. I'm gonna order the Ray Bans. That have
It's inevitable. You have to. I feel obligated
Yeah.
when new technology comes out that you have to have.
yeah. I'm gonna try it. That's a big one. That's a massive one. I got one more though.
What do you get?
I bought these. As you know, I'm a
Tell me.
sneakerhead.
Yeah, a B-Day? What do you got there? What is that? Dude,
These are the
those
Jordan.
it's kind of like the
Uh,
what are threes or four?
yeah, these are the
Throwback?
threes. These are like 10 years old. That they retroed them.
Oh my God.
Because I'm a sicko.
Yeah.
Here's the pair. Here's the pair from 2013. I had to have both. Yes.
Oh my God.
Makes no sense.
So what's the difference? So the lighter gray is the 2013?
Yeah, this is a 2013. I mean, the tongue. The
Yeah.
biggest difference, like, if you're not a freak like me that needs all these things, the biggest difference is these are way like thinner and more like skinny jeans. Like this part is really thin. The tongue is lower.
And
So
this would be what, the original shoe?
No, this is the re-release. This one that we're looking
Okay,
at.
okay.
So like the main difference really that you'll notice is that this is thinner. Like all of this padding and stuff is thinner on the new versions, and the tongue is lower. Like you can wear it with skinny jeans, and it doesn't feel like you're wearing a moon boot.
Yeah.
Like
Are
it
you
feels
wearing
like
skinny
almost like a
jeans?
running shoe.
Is
But
that a
yeah,
thing
it's
you
much
do?
thinner.
Are you doing skinny
that?
jeans? Are you wearing skinny jeans?
Always. And then
That's not
the old ones are like, see how much. Oh, I put them
Yeah,
together,
the
but you can tell
padding.
one's thin and one's really fat and padded. Like that's the big difference in now versus.
So, when did this shoe originally come out? Was it 2013?
2013, 10 years ago.
And then, so the threes came out, what, back in the 90s, right?
88.
88.
So the
Because I
Jordan
got a
3,
pair of, like the black and red, right?
yeah, the white cement ones
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
black. They call this cement or elephant print.
Okay.
This was iconic. I mean, he won his dunk contest in these.
Yeah.
From the free throw line. Like this is the model
OG.
that he was wearing, different color, but different model.
So you got the original 2013, and then you got the re-release that just came out.
yes,
Phenomenal.
That's a little excessive.
No, that
Awesome.
needs to happen.
I mean, it has to. When you're a sicko like me,
Yeah.
this is what happens when your parents don't get you Jordans when you're a kid.
This
Just
is
get
what
all
I'm
of them when
talking
you get
about.
older. Yeah.
Like the Air Max 90s, I have a closet full of them because I could never get them when I was
Yeah, you just for whatever reason you remember it. Now you're like, I'm an adult. I can get whatever I want. So I'm getting 600 pair of Jordans
exactly
for some
in
reason.
a pantry full of Pop Tarts
Yeah, exactly. That would explain a lot.
and a cholesterol.
But no, the Jordan 3 is like, I love that shoe. So I was like, I'm getting, and being a Virginia fan with the orange,
Got
come
to.
on, man, I had to get it.
You got to, and you put them on, and you ran, you like basketball. You ran down the court and you jumped, and you didn't get any higher, did you?
How can you beat this?
It looks phenomenal. I like the orange. I love the orange. Are you gonna wear
It's
the?
very
Are you gonna wear the
subtly
originals,
orange.
or are you gonna wear the remakes?
No, I'm wearing these. I like the thinner look. The reason I don't wear those as much is because they do when I put them on, they just feel like I'm wearing moon boots.
Yeah.
As goofy as that, like when you put them on, your ankles puff out, and it's just like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't need more puffy things on me.
Yeah, cankles, right? Isn't that chubby ankles?
So then this is a much cleaner look. So I'm definitely wearing these more often.
I can read between the lines. Anything chubbier is. Okay, I get what you're saying. All right, look what I got.
All right, let's see what'd you get.
So I needed a drone.
Of course, you need a drone.
I did
How
it for
how can you do our intro without a drone?
So this thing is phenomenal. This is the DJI Mini 3. Okay, so what this has, and I'll show you the controller. I got the controller that has the screen on it.
Oh, that's sick.
Okay. So what's phenomenal about this little guy is that it's light, it's easy to fly once you understand how the controls work. But what I'm noticing is that when it goes high up in the air, I'm getting this level of anxiety that is just odd. I'm getting this fear of I'm gonna lose it. Like the thing's just gonna leave. It's gonna go into a tree and then it's gone.
Right.
So I have to get like over that. I also need to not aim it directly at the house when it's going like 30 miles an hour. But I don't know. I love it, man. It shoots in 4K. You can control the gimbal to do portrait, horizontal. It doesn't have some of the things like, which I realize are probably very important, like object detection. So it'll fly straight into a house as opposed to avoiding it. It won't track you. You can I can set myself and then tell it to go in a circle and record that. So which is kind of cool. So I'm going to start playing around with it and throw some footage.
Any footage? Have you tried it? Can you show us some footage on it?
I'll put some footage in. Yeah, I will put some footage in. I chased my dog Bentley around the yard, and that was good. He knows. He hears it flying, and he's like, I don't need to go to the bathroom until Tuesday. But I'll get him.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
I have a fear of heights, so I don't like. I tried flying a drone because I don't like heights.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't like looking up at things high either. So yeah.
That's what's happening to me. And although it's got the screen, I look down at the screen, and then I start feeling disoriented and like vertigo.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what happens to me. My friend got one, and I was like, oh, I can't use these. I'm going back in the house.
Yeah, and I don't want to be the neighbor that's passed out in the driveway because the drone like knocked me out. The drone's just hovering and I'm like passed out on the driveway.
So what is your plan with this? Was just to get cool footage over the neighborhood and in places you visit? And
yeah, so I really want to just get it for like, B-roll and things like that. And I think it takes like your footage to the next level. Really, I did it for our fans.
Yeah, obviously.
Our community demands it.
Oh yeah, you had to.
I'm gonna put out some
They expect nothing less than drone footage. Every episode we need drone. Every episode we need drone.
You got
footage
to. You got to.
Yeah, clearly.
So, I think it's a must. So, anyways, I'm gonna have some footage, and we'll see what happens. It's inevitable. This thing is gonna crash into somebody or something and cause major damage. So, but we'll see what happens.
How much was that? How much did that set you back?
This package was, I think, around 700, but it came with a bag and some extra batteries. I think you can get like the basic one right at 600, I think. Amazon.
I mean, it's a lot, but it's like reasonable for what you're getting. You're getting a flying machine camera. Like,
flies 4K. It's phenomenal. It's like, it's a whole different experience. To be able to pass out because of a drone, phenomenal.
No, I love it.
So
anything else? Did you get anything else?
I got just batteries, and that was it. This was the big purchase, so I did that like at 1 a.m. on Brown Friday.
And then Cyber Monday. Are we doing anything Cyber Monday? Did you do anything else?
I didn't. We order from Amazon so frequently that I don't even know what day of the week it is sometimes. I mean, I'm sure there's crazy deals out there, but you know what? Like, if you really need something, Amazon's always got something on sale. So we'll see what happens. Let's talk about cars.
Yeah. All right, let's go to cars.
What do you think about this thing?
I love it.
Do you
I think it
really?
looks so. I think it's sick.
Get out of here! Really?
I think it. I think it looks so cool. I would. I don't know if I would want to buy one, but like looking at it, it's so out there that I love it. I think it
So,
looks so
so you're
cool.
saying that when you were 7 years old and you drew a car or a truck, you loved it.
No, that's why I like this.
This is exactly the same drawing I used to draw when I was 8 years old.
This. I mean, it's kind of like Homer Simpson when he designed the car,
Look at it.
but
It's not
it's
even
sick.
like it's just like straight lines and look at the wheel wells. It's just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just so different that I like it. It looks futuristic. It looks out there. Every other car now kind of looks the same. If I'm being honest,
100%.
like when you look at cars today, they all like are the same color. They all kind of have the same shape.
Look at the
They all go
interior.
0 to 60 in like 2 seconds,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
are
This thing
electric. Like it's
definitely
this is
different,
different.
right?
Yeah, it's very different.
I
I
don't
like
know.
it. I don't know. I would if I wanted a truck, I
Yeah,
totally would buy this. I mean, I would totally get this. But
I don't know,
I live
man.
in
When I think
California.
about
I don't
like
need a truck.
yeah, like I mean, I have a Tundra, and when I look at the Tundra compared to this Tundra, I don't know. I don't think I don't think I could drive this thing. It just looks weird. Like I don't want to be the designer of my car.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the thing.
fair. Do you
I
know? Because that's what we end up doing, anyways.
no. I want to be the redesigner of my car. Like I want to buy the car and then customize it to what I like. But I don't
Yeah,
want to be
yeah.
the original designer. If I can draw the car that I drive, I don't want to drive it. Like
Why?
because
This
this
thing
is
looks
so
cool, man.
big. This they didn't put any effort into it. It was like Elon Musk was like, just hey, he's calling his nephew. Can you draw me a truck? And his nephew was like, I already drew one. Here you go. And then Uncle Musk puts this out, and like he expects everybody to buy it, and the price points are insane.
How much is this? Like 80 to
I
150?
think it's like the one that goes 500 miles is like gonna be around 80,000. You know what I
It's a
mean?
lot, but I would totally get it.
Yeah, I
I
mean
don't know. Maybe I
everyone's
think because
different.
I like the look of something that's a little different on the road.
Yeah,
So like seeing this coming up behind you, this is very unique.
yeah. I don't know. I just can't. I mean, everyone's
I
different,
also
right?
have a Tesla, so I kind of like
You're
I'm in the Apple iPhone ecosystem. At this point I trust Tesla. I bet it's going to be cool inside. I bet it's going to be operate really well, and I bet it's
you're on
going to
board. I gotcha.
do its thing. And yeah,
You're on board. I feel you.
I'm getting it. I want it.
Now, one of the things that we said we were going to talk about was our S4s. Both you and I had the Audi S4. Yours was what
Yes,
year?
sir. Mine was a 2001.
2001, right? And this was the color, right? It was a
Yeah, it was like the
navy blue.
dark
As
navy
we
blue. It's like
established
deep
in
sea blue.
previous calls and previous editing, it was not the other blue.
Yeah, it's not the other blue.
So
It's not
you had this, you bought it new?
brand new. Charlottesville, Virginia. I had it shipped to California.
Did you really? You bought
Um,
it in Seville? I didn't know that. I
I
thought you
bought it
got
in
it in
Seville.
California.
No, I bought it in Charlottesville and shipped it out here. Out here in California, they were asking, 5 to 10,000 over sticker, and there was a wait list.
Yeah.
And I called the Charlottesville dealership, and they just had one sitting on the lot that exactly that I wanted. And they went under sticker.
What engine?
What engine?
Yeah. You
That's the
remember?
turbocharged. It was turbocharged. It was a inline. I think it was a inline six.
Inline six turbo?
Turbocharged, incredible. Yeah,
Automatic,
you know,
right?
it was the first and last automatic car I ever got. I think is the reason why I hated the car. Um, After I owned it, it's because it was automatic. It just didn't have that it just didn't have the fun feeling of all my stick shift cars. So I haven't
Black
gone back since.
black interior, right?
Yeah, it was black interior. Looked just, I mean, the interior was amazing. Like for 2001, it
Yeah,
was just so smooth inside. Now, outside, it was nice. I mean, it like, if I'm being honest, my dream was really the M3, but like they were all really hard to find at the time. So I went with the S4
and this was a Quattro, so this was
four wheel
the car
drive
you had
quattro.
before the WRX, right? So you four
This
wheel
is the
drive to
car
four
right
wheel
before the
drive
WRX.
in
Yeah, four wheel
California.
drive. Yes. So I mean, my experience was I loved everything about it.
Hmm.
It was amazingly fast. It was comfortable. It was luxurious. It did all the things. But I got a lemon. It was in the shop every other month.
Because of what?
Um, Everything, like everything. There was one time in the rain, I got in out coming out of the gym, and all the windows rolled down and wouldn't go back up,
Are
and I
you
just
serious?
drove. I drove it to the dealership, and I was like, I
This
can't do
needs to
this.
be sent back home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I had the turbos go out. I had
Oh my gosh.
um, I constantly had check engine lights. I had the suspension start squeaking. I had brakes. I had just like I applied for the lemon law
Yeah.
because it was in the 24 months I had it. I think it had 18
Oh
trips
my
to the dealership.
gosh.
And so then I sent it to them. They're like, "Yeah, the lemon law is 10. You need 10 times back, but it needs to be the same issue." So I'm like, "That's crazy." But then the dealership felt so bad for me. They were like, "We'll take it back at the price you paid for it,"
Wow.
which
So that
was
worked out.
incredible. So that worked out, and then it was an Audi and a Subaru dealer. So that's how I ended up with the WRX. So
I
just
didn't know that
full
story.
circle.
I kind of remember
Yeah.
the lemon
So
law you having you going down that route, but I didn't realize they bought it back for what you paid. That's actually
yeah,
phenomenal. Had you done
yeah, they got
anything to
me
the
out of
car,
there.
or you kept it
What's that?
stock? Had you done
No, it
anything
was
to it?
it was
Yeah.
bone stock. It was bone stock. It was like at the time 250 horsepower was like crazy.
Yeah.
And I drove the daylights out of that thing because I had just moved to California really, and I was just kind of like exploring.
Open
And I
roads, weather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like that may have been the reason why it probably wasn't meant to be driven as hard as I did, like the
I don't
miles I
think
put on
so.
it.
I think those cars they're meant to be driven hard because even stock, they're phenomenal cars. You know.
Yeah, I wish it was better. Like anytime someone asks me about Audi, I'm like, yeah, I had a bad experience, but other people
Yeah.
have loved their Audi. Like you ended up getting one.
I got the 2013, the B8 and a half, what they call the B8 and a
So
half
nice
S4.
looking.
Yeah, and then I kept it stock for maybe a year or two, but then I went nutso, and it ended up on air ride and imported carbon fiber front lips, and it eventually just became a full blown show car sponsored, and I didn't really
Oh my
drive it
God.
that much afterwards. So it was a phenomenal car. I mean, I loved that car. I think what I did wrong was I turned it into a show car, so it really couldn't be driven. Um,
Because it was what lowered, it was impractical, and
it was on air ride, so you could raise it up to the height of like basically a stock Q5. So
okay.
in snow and everything, I'd put winter wheels on it, and I could go over anything. But with the air ride, I was driving in, a show in New Jersey and hit a bump, and I popped a air hose on the back right tire, and that just sat down while I'm going 80 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
So it just became a car that became impractical, and that was my fault. But it did win a lot of shows, and I liked it. I mean, I personally, we've talked about the WRX, and we'll talk about the BMWs that we both owned. But having owned a BMW and having owned a Benz, I felt like the Audi was the perfect middle car. It had the elements of a BMW. We'll talk about it later. But like you get into a BMW and it's a driver's car. It does not
Yeah,
care
it's a
what the
race car.
passengers see, what the
Yeah.
passengers feel. The entire dash is aimed towards the driver, right? It's so comical.
Totally.
And the Benz is all about comforts for everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's got a phenomenal engine. Like I had an E63 AMG. Great. That one sounded like a beast, but even then they muffled the noise. Whereas in a Beamer, I kind of feel like they're like, go for it. You want to sound,
Right.
you want to feel what
Yeah.
it feels like riding a tiger? Here you go.
No,
But
I think that's a really good description. Like BMW is sport, Mercedes is luxury, and then especially the series of
S4 is
Audi
the
is kind of right
customer.
in the middle. Yeah, it's
It's right
sport
in the
and
middle.
luxury
They
together.
give you
Yeah.
some of the luxury. They give you some of that performance. You got some of the creature comforts for the passengers, but not much. But it's kind of that perfect.
I think it looks. I think it looks the best. Like in terms, because it's right in the middle. It
Yeah,
looks. I mean, every time I see one, I'm like, God, that is so sick. But I
yeah,
know the experience I had, so I can't go. Like I can't be fooled twice.
yeah,
So I'm not going back. But man, it's such a nice. Look at that. Look at the way that. Yeah, that car is sick, man.
yeah. And in the early 2000s, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
So I definitely would recommend that car to anybody who buys it. But I'd say the stuff that you use to tune that car and the products you put on that car, pay the price for them. Put the good stuff on, because
Yeah.
that car when it goes wrong, it goes very, very wrong.
I mean, I
So
did nothing to mine. I think it just electronically, mine was really buggy.
yeah,
They said some of them parts were made in Mexico by VW, and some of the parts were Germany and Audi, and blending them together for the S4 was apparently in the early years it was a problem, and I just got a bad one.
yeah.
But
It's like paying
I
for
will
cheap
say the
tequila.
customer service wise, they were nice about it. They were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man, you're back again." Like,
Yeah,
they were cool about it. It's just like, man, like the windows. I think the windows rolling down in the rain. That was my last straw. I was like, "Yo, what?"
it's got to be your last truck because you're like sitting there and everyone's looking at you and you're like, I'm not doing this on purpose. Like I'm not.
I mean, they wouldn't go up. They wouldn't go up. I had to drive in the rain. My car, it was raining in my car, and I had to drive to the dealership. And I was just like, "Here, take it. Just, I don't know.
That's no bueno.
You figure it out." Like, at some point, they were just like, "Sorry, man." As funny, another story on that. The funny thing was, I was still getting, because the VIN number was tied to my email,
Oh,
so they sold the car again.
oh my
And then like
God.
a few years later, I got an email that was like, "Hey, your car is ready at the dealer." And I was like, "What is this?" And then I looked and I logged in and I saw the next person that got my car still continually bringing the thing to the dealership for different issues.
They're
And
like,
I
hey,
was
it's
just
done. We removed all the windows. You have a convertible now, and good luck.
yeah, and I looked at the history of it, and I was like, "Whoa, man!" The next guy did not get a break. He was like in and out of the shop
Oh, it's out
constantly
of
with
warranty
breaks
too,
and this
probably
and
by
that.
then.
Yeah,
He's
I
paying
was
for
like,
it out of
"Whoa, that's."
pocket.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I'm glad I dodged that bullet. Like, imagine just powering through it, and then just like
No, once you
out of
come out of
warranty, and
warranty
like,
and you have a
yeah,
lemon, you're done. You're done. You might as well
yeah,
just throw it in the ocean. So
scary times. Yeah, now I know when you got a bad one, get rid of it.
let's talk a little parenting stuff. We're gonna
All
talk
right.
parenting corner.
We'll transition to
We'll
parenting. Let's do it.
transition. Let's talk a little bit about. I don't know. I kind of feel like I question sometimes what my kids learn in school. I got one in elementary, one in transitional, like middle. You know, it was last year elementary, middle, high school, and high school it's different. I feel like they're closer to college, so they're actually starting to learn real things. Elementary, no chance. I don't know what they're learning. I don't know what she's doing all day. Like
Yeah.
she never has homework. She's got a spelling test every Friday, which she just rocks it out like 100 every time. But
I mean, Indian people always with a spelling bee.
got to. I mean, I want her to be a spelling bee champion.
Does she work on it, or is it natural? Like you guys just have
It's
a
natural.
phonetically.
No, I mean
Is it
she
really?
does. She studies and she sounds it out. But you know, like if you said spell the word convey, she'll be like, I don't know this word, is it? And then she'll spell it perfectly, and you're like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's a natural thing. I think it's a natural thing with your phonetics and like being able to sound things out, because I will say math in Chinese people, that is not a real stereotype, because my kids are terrible at math.
Really?
And I was not good at math. I think it's really about like, because math is memorization and working.
Yeah.
And like in first generation Asians from the motherland,
Yeah.
they're forced to memorize math at a very early age. So when all those that came over and got that stereotype, they worked and they memorized it all. And all these new Asian kids that are coming up don't have that luxury and that benefit, but they still have the stereotype that they're good at math.
Everyone's looking at them like, you're gonna rock it.
Yeah, what's wrong? So it makes it worse. Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you? You're disappointing an entire race.
Yeah.
But it's like they are learning this new. I don't know about your kids, but my kids are learning a new math, like a new style of math. Like I didn't realize someone was working on a new way to do things that were working perfectly fine. Like, is math not learned right when I was growing up?
It changed.
It really. We're fighting this battle, like I'm apparently learning how to do math again. Like, it's a real struggle.
Luckily, my wife was a math major, and her patience level is like 452,000 times higher than mine. So like my daughter will show me the math problem, and I'm like, I loved math. Like I did well in after many tries, but I look at it and I'm like, I don't even know what this is. What is this? I'm like, you need to go to Kumon.
No, we did. I mean, they had the simple math equation, and they had 2 pages of work that go with it. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So then I was like, hey, just carry the one, do this. And she was like, that's not how we do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, but that works. Like, why aren't you just doing it that way? So I taught her how to do it that way, and she got reamed at school for doing it the wrong way. And I was like, all right, I'm done teaching you. Like, I don't know.
You
I don't know math, apparently.
You apparently have to teach that new math style, which I don't know what that is, and I don't know why they changed it.
I guess because I don't get it either personally. I'm just like, it looks like you're just doing the roundabout way to get to the same answer, and you're doing 100 different equations to get the same one. You got to memorize. I don't even know.
They got to change everything. They just feel like it's been done this way too long. We got to change it up. We're gonna do.
So somebody out there was like, "There's a problem with how we learn math," and they spent their entire career figuring out a new way to do math.
Waste of time. You know why? Because that Nobel Prize, that's what's getting in the way.
It has to be.
Nobel's math prize. Like, come on, man. Just leave it as it is. And then you got like
the old guy. But damn, we don't need new math.
I don't need new math, man. I can't even do basic math anymore because of the Apple iPhone.
Right.
I'm the guy that's sitting
the
on
other thing.
Legit, this happened. I'm the guy that's sitting on an airplane looking at like those in-flight magazines, Sky Mall, and I go pinch the paper to zoom in on something.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because my brain has been messed up because of the Apple iPhone.
I mean, the phone has completely damaged all. Like, it's given everybody ADD and vision problems.
Yeah.
It's attention deficit disorder is definitely now rampant.
Yeah, the level of introverts went up because of the Apple iPhone.
No, it's real.
It is real.
I mean, I think people also, like, from what I can see, is people, like kids, I would say, have problems like communicating in real life to match. Like, because they say things like LOL, but they're not actually laughing. They're just doing it to tell the person that they they want them to think it's funny.
Agreed.
But it's not. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you can't just walk around just yelling at LMAO. Like,
yeah, and then in real life, when they get together, they're bored together. They'd rather like communicate through texting and interact that way. And
I've seen that happen. I've seen us with our daughter in the back go pick up her friend, and they're going to go out to dinner, and both of them are texting each other.
Yeah, I think it's just easier for them to communicate. I don't know. It's a different world, man. How we grew up was different. It's now that how these kids are going to adjust is different. So,
but I love
trying not to pass judgment, but man, it's hard.
It is hard. But you know what I love? I love how the entire world and the entire education system went on pause for the 2 years of COVID. Yes. And said, we're going to pull back the requirements. We're going to let you go on video calls. You guys can be sitting on the toilet when you're supposed to be in class, whatever it is. But we're going to pause these 2 years, let you lower your IQ, and then we're just going to jump right back into it when everyone is fine.
It's a problem.
I mean,
my kids, at my age, my daughter's 10. She missed kindergarten and first grade essentially. So she started in second grade. So she's definitely socially behind. Yeah. Whereas my son was young enough where he just missed preschool, so he went to he is socially way better. He gets it. He sort of like gets the social cues and all that. Whereas my daughter is very and all of her friends are like that. They're all just a little more text heavy and not. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just.
I kind of feel jealous though because they have a reason, whereas in college I missed the same amount of time, but that was because of stupidity. Because you and I
because
were
of
friends.
Me, probably.
Yeah, so while my kids will say 2 years of COVID messed them up, I'm like, 2 years of T-dubs messed me up. And people are like, T-dubs, what medicine did you have to take, or was there a shot that made you feel better? I was like, no, T-dubs was a person. It ruined 2 years of my life. Okay.
We just went berserko.
Yeah. The proximity to Atlantic City was a problem. So, at least they have an excuse. Omicron or
Atlantic City and Fair Oaks Mall. Actually, it's not even. Let's not even blame Atlantic City.
No, we're not.
We would have found anything. We'd go to the mall instead of class. We'd go do anything. We went to the pet store and got birds, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it didn't matter what it was or where it was or when it was or why we were doing it. I mean, it was going up to the Milan's Pizza guy and telling him that I worked for them just because somehow I got one of their T-shirts.
No, but I socially though different. Like you said, the thing it did was it put us in a social bubble, and we were interacting with, and we compressed relationships between all of us into lifelong, spending 1 year together, like you said last time, is the equivalent of a lifetime for other people.
Yeah, 42 years.
And these kids today have the opposite problem, right? They don't really know their friends. No. They text them, they hang out, but they don't know any of their social cues. They don't really understand them as people.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what it's going to lead to down the line. What do you think? What is your? I mean, is everything going to kind of even out and work itself out, or is this?
I think the whole world is going to evolve to compensate, because once this group of kids graduates and they get into the workforce, and the workforce starts to change, and you can start to see it now a little bit where people graduating are saying, "Why do I have to come into the office?" And I'm the same way, right. But that's because I experienced COVID, and I'm like, man, working in basketball shorts is the way it is. But I think everything will evolve and change and compensate for what society is lacking. But we'll see. Whatever. Either way,
I'm excited to see where we go in the next.
Pop-Tarts.
I mean, what's your guess as to what's going to happen in the next, let's say, 5 years, in terms of where we think about 5 years ago or 10 years before the iPhone and after iPhone? Our everything is just, every year we're getting more and more out there.
Think about it.
What's going to happen next?
AI. Think about where things are heading. Now our brains are so stale that it's now I need a machine to tell me what to write in an email. Right?
It's wild.
Like when you think about when Google Maps or Apple Maps first came out, and now I could have somebody tell me how to get to somewhere, right? And
Right.
then everyone forgot how to read a map. Well, imagine now when I can have an AI as a personal assistant and it's telling me, hey, you should go eat lunch, or hey, make sure you plan to send this email, and here's the email script. I'm gonna stop. Like basically, I'm gonna sit here like this all day. It's
Like
getting close.
we are the last generation of people that grew up without the internet.
Yeah, we are.
Literally,
So
we're the last ones. We're getting old. We're the old people in the room now. It's like so
yeah,
scary to me.
yeah,
Like I never thought of it like that, but I'm like, I'm usually like when I go to these PTA meetings and like I see all the other parents, I'm the generally the oldest person in that room, which is terrifying. I mentally I'm the shortest,
the
youngest,
young.
however you want to look at it, but in
But you're
age,
the
I'm
oldest.
I'm
Yeah.
the oldest one, like
Well,
almost
that's
every
why
time.
we don't go to PTA meetings. I mean, anything that brings you down, we don't do.
Yeah, we go to those things, and it's shocking, like where we're
Yeah.
where we're
Well,
going. AI is going to be fun. I'm curious where this thing is gonna end up with you know
I can't wait.
how
It's gonna be
is
good.
T2 Cyborg's going to take over? Is it going
Yeah.
to be the Cybertruck going to look normal in
God, I hope
5
so.
years,
I hope
or
somebody really designs it as opposed to Elon's nephew.
like how are we going to get by without seeing people and like interacting? It's kind of sad, man.
Go with the flow, my friend.
We just deal with it. We'll just
Yeah.
figure it out as we go, I guess.
All right. More cars, more parenting, more reviews next time.
Let's do it. What,
All
what's
right.
what's on tap for next week? What do you
I think
think?
it's a secret. I think we got to come up with. We got some good stuff in the works.
All right. More
All
product
right.
reviews. More product reviews.
Always.
Always. More cars.
All right, my
Peace
man.
out. Appreciate it.
Deep out.
We out.